You're not 19 anymore. You've spent more years sitting than moving, 8 hours a day at a desk, sometimes more. And that alone raises your risk of heart disease and early death by nearly 20%. That's what happens before you even think about exercise. So the question isn't just, can I do calisthenics? It's what actually happens when you finally start in your 30s. The first thing you'll notice, your body doesn't move like it used to. Your hips feel locked, glutes switched off, shoulders rounded forward like you're permanently hunched over a laptop. Calisthenics makes these problems obvious fast. Try a basic squat and your hips scream. Attempt a push-up and your shoulders feel like rusty hinges. Not because you're weak, but because your body's been stuck in the same position for a decade. Look, the good news is that damage isn't permanent. A few months of consistent training starts reversing it. Your hips open up, your posture shifts, muscles you forgot existed switch back on. Your mobility improvements go banana once you stick with it. But first, you've got to face what sitting has actually done to you. And speaking of problems, you might think using a random training apps can help you, but truth is, most of them suck. Now you're probably thinking I'm about to pitch you my own fitness app. Nope, even better. Build your own app with Movable, the sponsor of today's video. Movable lets me build the exact app I need in minutes. No coding. Like here, I asked it for a workout timer that yells at me if I skip a session. Oh, within minutes, we're done. The name is Fit Shame. I didn't choose this name. I kind of like the name though. So I can select the length of my workout, and I just hit start workout and it seems like the stopwatch will just go on. What's this shame mode? Oh, your future self is facepalming right now. Well, it did the job on the first try. This is really impressive. And the best part, once you've built it, you just hit publish. And it's online with a link you can share. Simple. Now, I'm not saying Movable is a developer replacement. It's a tool to bring ideas to life quickly so you can test the fun concepts without the full app investment. So if you've got an idea, fitness or not, go to lovable.dev and use my code YELLOW20YT for 20% off. All right, back to calisthenics. You thought you were in shape. Maybe you jog on weekends or hit the gym occasionally. Then you try a basic balance hold or push-up variation, and you wobble like you're learning to walk again. Calisthenics isn't about just pushing weight around. It's about control, precision, stability. This is exactly what you've lost after years of being glued to a chair. The movements feel foreign because your brain-to-body connection has gotten lazy. But here's what's cool about calisthenics. Every rep rewires that connection. You rebuild coordination, balance, and body awareness. Things no amount of desk work ever gave you back. Studies show sedentary time weakens neuromuscular functions, strength, balance, and even fine motor control. Calisthenics flips that switch back on. When you're 20, ego shows up loud. You chase flashy tricks. You want the handstand, the muscle up, the social media highlight. In your 30s, ego gets sneaky. It whispers, "Ain't got no time for that? Skip the warm-up. Jump to the hard stuff. You're not some beginner. Don't fall for it." Skip the warm-up and your shoulder tweaks. Skip the foundation work and your lower back reminds you why you need it. Rush into advanced moves and you're sidelined for weeks. At this age, ego doesn't just hurt your pride, it kills your momentum entirely. And honestly, your biggest flex in your 30s should not be a one-arm push-up. It's still being able to train consistently next month. At 30, you start seeing time differently. You can make more money. You can get stronger, but you can't add more hours in your day. That's why sitting in traffic to get to a gym or waiting for equipment starts feeling ridiculous. You're not just losing time, you're losing opportunities to actually train. Calisthenics fixes this. A pull-up bar at the park, your living room floor, 20 minutes between meetings, train outside barefoot if the weather's good. No commute, no equipment wars, no mental barriers. When time becomes precious, calisthenics gives you what matters, a way to train without wasting any of it. You won't wake up one morning looking like a superhero. It doesn't work like that anymore. Instead, strength builds quietly in the background. Your posture straightens without you thinking about it. Carrying groceries becomes effortless. Climbing stairs doesn't wind you. You can hold your kid longer without constantly shifting them around. I mean, the real changes show up when everyday stuff just feels easier, more controlled, less like work. So what happens if you start calisthenics in your 30s? First, your body will show you exactly what sitting has done to it. Then, you'll rebuild the control you've lost. You'll learn to manage your ego in smarter ways. You'll stop wasting time, getting to workouts, and start actually working out. And strength will build steadily in the background until one day you realize how much easier everything has gotten. Look, it's not too late. Your 30s aren't a setback. They're when you can finally build the kind of strength that actually serves your life. You're not 19 anymore, and the truth is your body has been keeping score this entire time. Every hour you spent sitting, every shortcut you took with movement, every time you told yourself you'll start next week, it all added up quietly in the background. You didn't feel it at first. Nothing hurt. Nothing seemed broken. But now, when you try to move with intention, your body answers back differently. It resists. It hesitates. It exposes everything you've been ignoring. And that's the moment most people quit. Not because they can't improve, but because they don't like what they see at the start. But here's the reality. That discomfort is not a stop sign, it's feedback. It's your body finally waking up after years of being on autopilot. The stiffness in your hips, the tightness in your chest, the weakness in your core, these are not permanent flaws, they're reversible signals. And calisthenics is one of the few systems that forces you to face those signals head-on. No machines to hide behind. No momentum to cheat with. Just you and gravity. Every movement demands honesty. And that honesty is exactly what creates real change. In your 30s, progress doesn't come from doing more, it comes from doing things better. Slower reps, cleaner form, longer control. You start paying attention to how your body moves, not just whether you completed the rep, and that shift changes everything. Because now you're not just training muscles, you're training patterns. You're rebuilding how your body functions as a whole. And once that foundation starts to come back, something interesting happens. Your energy changes. You don't feel as drained at the end of the day. Your focus sharpens, your mood stabilizes, movement stops feeling like a chore and starts feeling like a reset. And it doesn't require hours. That's another myth you have to drop. You don't need 90-minute sessions, you need consistency. 15 to 20 minutes done properly will outperform random long workouts every time, especially now. Because recovery matters more than ever. In your 20s, you could get away with pushing through pain and bouncing back the next day. In your 30s, your body demands respect. It forces you to listen. And that's not a weakness, it's an advantage. Because when you learn to train with your body instead of against it, you stay in the game longer. No burnout, no constant injuries, just steady, reliable progress. And over time, that consistency compounds. Weeks turn into months. Movements that once felt impossible become part of your routine. Push-ups feel lighter. Squats feel deeper. Your balance improves without you even thinking about it. And then one day, you notice something subtle but powerful. You're not thinking about working out anymore. You're just someone who moves, someone who trains, someone who takes care of their body without needing motivation every single day. That identity shift is the real transformation. Not the visible muscles, not the external validation, but the internal standard you've set for yourself. And once that's in place, it spreads into everything else. Your discipline improves. Your confidence grows. You start approaching other areas of your life with the same consistency and patience. Because you've proven to yourself that change is possible. Not instantly, not dramatically, but reliably. And that's what most people never experience. Because they quit too early. They expect fast results, and when they don't get them, they assume it's not working. But what's actually happening is the process is working exactly as it should, slowly, quietly, beneath the surface. Just like all the years that led you here. The difference now is you're choosing a direction. You're no longer drifting. You're building something on purpose, and that matters more than starting early or having a perfect plan. Because in the end, it's not about when you start. It's about whether you stay consistent once you do. And the longer you stay consistent, the more your body begins to trust you again. Joints feel safer, movements feel smoother, and that constant hesitation slowly disappears. You stop second-guessing every rep. You stop worrying about whether you're doing enough. Because you know you are. You showed up. You did the work. And that quiet confidence replaces the need for motivation. Some days will still feel heavy. Some sessions will feel off. But you don't quit anymore. You adjust, you continue, you stay in motion. And that's the difference now. You're no longer chasing a quick transformation. You're building a system you can rely on. One that fits your life, respects your time, and strengthens you in ways that actually matter. Because this isn't just about looking better, it's about moving through life without limitation, with control, with strength, and with the certainty that your body can handle whatever comes next.